Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.
And we are live. Good morning, everybody. It's your favorite truck driver in the whole wide world, ex-truck driver in the whole wide world, Bitcoin Ben. Now, guys and gals, we are winning and losing at the same time, also known as life. Smoke them if you got them, boys. Well, what we have going on right now is we have the Bitcoin. Guys, as we go through this, I'm going to show you how the Bitcoin and cryptos are taking over, are slowly taking over the old system and the new systems, because I'm going to talk about AI and how cryptos are providing the environment that the people want, privacy in AI, and how AI agents are choosing the Bitcoin as their means of exchange. Okay, let's jump right into this. Oh, and of course we have the war over in Iran. Guys and gals, Trump, and you guys know I'm a fan of Trump, at least the original Trump idea. Where he's at right now in Iran, he better have a plan. He better have a plan, because Iran could easily see, this is what I hope. All right. Iran was created by the CIA. Let's just put it that way. Where Iran is now was created by the CIA. So Trump is basically taking out the CIA placed leadership of Iran. Now, that's a good thing, but the actions may be good, but the reasons may be bad. Let me explain. Tucker Carlson put out a great episode yesterday explaining why Israel and America may have hit Iran. Remember, and here's an analogy, all right? If someone walks up and punches the guy who raped your sister, you're happy. But if he punches him because he took his wallet, it's not the same thing. Tucker's theory is there's a group, and I've known of this group in Israel and in Washington, D.C. This is and also in Texas. There's a lot of them. They want to build the third church in Israel. All right. That's a long story. Let me just put it this way. Religiously, and those of you who aren't religious, this is not going to make sense to you at all, because most of you watching are either Europeans or, well, let's say West. All right. This is a religious link. And outside of the West, religion leads life. Outside of the West, religion is everything. All right. If Israel gets the opportunity to create the third temple or church, that is the catalyst for what they believe is the end of everything. That brings on the rapture of God. All right. This is, it sounds weird to us. Why would you want to bring on a rapture? Guys, we in the West, we don't wrap our heads around this. There's two worlds. There's a religious world and there's a modern world. The modern world has looked at the religious world as like, oh, those oddballs. They believe in people in the sky. There's a whole history on this. And it doesn't really matter if you actually believe in it, because they do. Now, this is what we're watching for. There is a mosque in Israel. We've all seen it. There's a big gold dome in the middle of Israel, or in what the hell is it in Bethlehem? No. That's a completely different area. Help me. Where is the mosque over the rock? Is it in Bethlehem? I don't think so. I think I'm wrong on that. All right. But there is a mosque there. Jerusalem. Thank you. I can't believe I couldn't remember the friggin' name, Jerusalem. All right. That mosque is the second or equal. That's like one of the most important places in the history and in the belief of the Muslims. This is where they believe that Muhammad was taken and brought up to heaven with Allah. All right. There's a dome there. Inside of the mosque is the rock on the mount. All right. That's the Jewish place. That's where they think Jesus was sacrificed. This is like the biggest fucking deal. Well, that would be Christians, the Jews. This is where the Jews had the original temple one and the second temple. Now, the second temple didn't work out very well. Neither did the first. But the third temple, that's their prophecy. Because remember, this is what you have to understand. when the temple was destroyed originally, it was Jesus said that the temple would be destroyed. Right? Jesus said that the temple would be destroyed, and that he, Jesus Christ, would replace the temple, because the Jews believed you could only get into heaven through the temple. Jesus, this is why they prosecuted him for heresy. He said, no, I am the Son of God. Only through me can you reach heaven. Now that was heresy, because it was only from the temple could you reach heaven. That's where Jews split off. You had Jews, and then you had Christ. And Christ led into Christianity. It's so important that you understand the thing to watch for, the thing we have to worry about. All right? Exactly. That rock is also thought to be the rock that Abraham was going to sacrifice his son, Isaac. Yes. Now, let me elaborate that just so you get context. All right. Abraham brought his son up to be sacrificed. God said no more human sacrifice. That's when they switched over to killing lambs. That's why Jesus is called the Lamb of God, because he was sacrificed for the rest of us. So Abraham was bringing his son, all right, up to the rock. All right. Remember, at this time, they're Jewish. So the rock is the temple. The temple was on the rock originally. Right. So Abraham brings his son up there, and he's ready to sacrifice his son for God. And God says, no. You do not have to sacrifice your son. So that's when they moved away from human sacrifice and started sacrificing lambs. All right. We have a question. Hey, do you ever feel that the Bible is incomplete? The Council of Nicaea did omit several. It is completely incomplete. If you read the Bible, there's areas of it that are they just end. All of a sudden, that's it. No context. No, well, what the hell happened to that? Yes. Remember, there's so many different versions of the Bible. All right. That is crazy. But what you have to realize is Jews, Muslims, and Christians, they're basically going off of all of the same stories. All right, Jesus was a Jew. The Jews were the chosen people. All right, and Muhammad of Islam was a Jew. This, so all of the roots of Judaism, Christians and Muslims, are a branch of Judaism. Now, why is that important? 5 billion people on earth are either Christians, Jews, or Muslims. They're all actually based on the same creation theme. So whether you are an atheist or you just never got into religion, it doesn't fucking matter. Because 5 billion people believe this. And about 3 billion of those people are diehards. I mean, fucking, that's their life. This is fundamental that we watch for one thing. And then I'm going to move on and we're going to talk about the banks. The one thing to watch for is if any weapons hit the mosque over the rock. Now, I'm not saying not saying it's going to happen. It hasn't happened yet. This thing's been around for fucking hundreds of years, and has not actually been destroyed yet. So let's hope that don't happen, because if that happens, holy fucking shit, you're gonna see Crusades Part 3. That's what you'll see. You'll see the Muslims go after the Jews and the Goy. I'm sorry, Christians. I like to kind of throw in a joke every once in a while. And all hell will break loose. Because remember, this is important. Just watch for it. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Let's hope the fuck it don't happen, but we'll see. Now, on to the banks. All right. What we need is this, is the banks are freaking the fuck out. The banks, here, let me share this real quick. There we go. All right, let me bring this up. Add screen. There we go. Let me go down here. All right. New bank trades, that means like they're almost like a bank union, like coming out against the Kraken master account approval. The bank policy says that a Kansas City Fed front ran the board's public comment period and violated policy on seeking public comment when it intends to make significant changes to the payment system. But they didn't change the payment system. That's the key. What they're saying they did, they didn't do. They just allowed Kraken in as a member bank. That's a big deal. Now, we have the ICBA, right, on behalf of the nation's community banks, said they are very concerned by the approval because they see crypto as a risk. Now, when they say risk, what do they mean? Granting non-bank entities and crypto institutions access to the master accounts traditionally limited to highly regulated, insured depository institutions pose risk to the banking system. Now, let's get rid of that. Let me explain what the fuck that means. They basically are saying, hey, Kraken doesn't own any treasuries, which is not true. Kraken does own treasuries. They're but they aren't a traditional bank. Absolutely. Right? There is no Kraken location. There is no Kraken branches. All right, let's put it that way. You can't swing over to the Kraken, bank location down the road. This is what's freaking them out. They wrapped themselves up in so many regulations that Kraken, because of how it's shaped, they don't qualify for the regulations. They are not obstructed by the regulations. Now, people have asked, well, it's not really fair that Kraken or Coinbase could offer 6% or 4% with the banks who can only offer like 0.025 or something. And the banks are arguing that they have regulatory obligations that increase their overhead, which is true. That is true. They have a bunch of locations, they have branches, they got all this shit. Kraken is not licensed like that. So Kraken doesn't have to launch a bunch of office. It's fintech. All right? It's online. The banks and their Washington people have created a moat, all right, around the banks. Trust me. We run a credit union in El Salvador. America has a moat around launching a credit union or a bank. It's a big moat. So regular average, it's very hard to launch a bank. Almost impossible in America. Well, they thought they had a moat where no one could get inside their little system, the banking system. What Kraken is a drone. Fuck your moat. We'll just go over the top of you. And that's what Kraken and Coinbase and our credit union is doing. We aren't limited by the earth. We can fly above it. All right. Now, how I've set up our credit union is we're in El Salvador, but we have worldwide access through the license of the credit union in El Salvador. So we can have, because of fintech regulations, all right, we can offer our credit union to people in America because it's a membership union. It's a credit union. This is completely different from what even Kraken is doing. Because this is what the people need. And what we're seeing right now is a complete shift. Michael Saylor has generated a product that allows him, so, and this is the shift he's been telling everyone about. It would reach a point where so many retirement plans, 401ks, insurance fucking companies, all these places that are looking for yield would realize and validate his system. Now they're buying it. And I mean, they are buying it like you ain't seen somebody buy it. Michael Saylor is going, and this is only going to get bigger because the longer it works, the more it grows. This system he has set up, all right, this is going to absorb so much of insurance companies, pensions, 401ks, all that, because all of those are yield searching products. And Michael Saylor has set up an 11.5% yield. And it works. This is what's crazy. Is it's kind of like a Ponzi scheme, except not. Because as his shares go up in value, he can sell more shares of his other products. So then his shares go up again. Sell more shares of his other products. His shares go up again. He's created a wheel that just, it doesn't quit. And now he's reached a point where so many entities, and we're just at the beginning, he doesn't even have 1% of the market yet. He doesn't even have, think about that. He doesn't even have 1% of the market. And the closest to him in his, remember, he's a Fortune 500 company. Actually, I think he's a Fortune 100 company now. I think. Check me on that. That puts him into a whole nother layer of fucking money. He has less than 1%. And he's able to buy approximately right now, and it's rising, about 1,000 Bitcoin a day as of the judging off of the last 4 or 5 days, where this is ramping up to. Michael Saylor buying 1,000 Bitcoin a day and going up. That means in 1 year, think about this, that's about 240,000 fucking Bitcoin, Monday through Friday. All right. That's and he's not selling Bitcoin. He's just going to accumulate. Unlike BlackRock, which is an ETF. If their volumes go up, they buy more Bitcoin. Their volumes go down, they sell more Bitcoin. So there's an inflow and outflow of ETFs. Michael Saylor ain't playing that game. Michael Saylor's like, fuck the selling part. And we have more doing this, more launching a strike, right? It's a few of these will work, right? Yeah, perhaps with Bitcoin, we may have to reevaluate what a Ponzi scheme is, right? Because let's remember, guys, Michael Saylor, if you look at the big picture, all he's doing is recreating a treasury bond from the U.S. government, except what he's replacing it with is the Bitcoin and not the full faith and credit of the government. Michael Saylor is going to eat the bond market, except those that are regulated to purchase the bonds. Michael Saylor is going to eat the whole fucking Bitcoin world. And that's okay. Because more and more. We just had an announcement from a Chinese automotive company that announced they are going to buy like $1 billion of fucking Bitcoin. All right? $1 billion worth of Bitcoin and hold it as a reserve asset. They're not going to trade it. All right? They're not going to trade it. They're holding this as a reserve in their company, which as the price goes up, the value of the company goes up because it's labeled as an asset of the company. That will improve the shares of the Chinese automotive company because then their eval is higher. And as the Bitcoin gains price, their eval goes up. So they, just like Michael Saylor actually did with MicroStrategy. Hang on one second, word from the sponsor. And this time I won't end the video. Sorry about that the other day, guys.
Ever wondered how safe your online activities really are? How secure is your digital footprint? In the vast realm of the internet, privacy and security are paramount. Without adequate protection, your personal data might be at risk. There are solutions to these issues, and today we're going to talk about two of them. Introducing Liberty laptops from Calyx Solutions. These cutting-edge devices are meticulously designed to bolster online privacy, providing you the liberty to surf the internet incognito. The World Wide Web can be a wild frontier, but with Liberty laptops, your online privacy is always protected. We also present you crypto laptops, designed with cryptocurrency users in mind. Equipped to support a myriad of wallets and exchanges, these laptops are tailored for seamless cryptocurrency transactions. They offer enhanced security protocols to keep your digital assets safe. Crypto laptops ensures a secure and smooth cryptocurrency experience. It's time to take control of your online privacy and security. Venture over to Calyx Solutions and explore our Liberty laptops and crypto laptops. Don't forget, our affiliate program lets you earn $50 per sale. Visit calyxsolutions.io now or call 702-845-8276 for more information, because your online safety is our priority.
All right, welcome back, guys. Now, hey, shout out to the smart one of our clients at our clubs. They're they are buying over $200,000 worth of Bitcoin. And of course, we're helping them do that, no KYC. And yeah, they're going to be happy with that purchase. Because what I want you to realize is it's all, now that we're in the old system, that's what everyone was worried about. Oh man, the financial system, I don't want it involved in Bitcoin. The Bitcoin is the solution to the system. That's the key. And now the financial system, who has looked for yield and in the financial system, they've gotten rug pulled. They've gotten rug pulled a lot. Most of them 401ks, just saying. But now we're at a point where the Bitcoin has its tentacles into the old system and now is draining the value out of the old system and putting it in Bitcoin. It's a large sucking sound because now we have enough straws into the old system and more straws are coming. This is incredible where we're at right now, because the Bitcoin is and will continue to suck the value out of the old system. That's why the banks are freaking out, because they've lived in a system where they can get 4.5% yield on a treasury bond. All right. Or they can go to the Federal Reserve and get money and issue loans. They'll issue a loan at 8%, and they're only fucking paying like 1 or 2, maybe 3 or 4, maybe if that. But also with that, they generate money using fractional reserve banking. That's what they do. That's the old system. Michael Saylor is like, fuck that system, because you don't hold a real asset except the dollar, which the more you create, the more it devalues. What Michael Saylor has done has swapped it and holds the asset in a fixed supply digital currency that appreciates. So his shares, think of his shares as Michael Saylor dollars. He's selling his shares. He's selling his dollars, and he's buying Bitcoin. And he's putting the Bitcoin into his treasury. The value of the Bitcoin goes up. So then he can print more money, because he isn't inflating the value of the money because of the asset that he holds in reserves. This is a complete flip from the old system to the new system. And this is what everyone's going to do. Mark my words, guys. Mark my words. Remember, Elon Musk, is getting ready to launch digital banking services on X. What if Michael Saylor works a deal with X and And X actually backs their currency with shares of MicroStrategy. Or they back it with Bitcoin. The smarter run for Elon would be backing it with strategy. Because then that replaces the Federal Reserve. Because then you treat Michael Saylor as the Federal Reserve, except he's holding the Bitcoin as an asset, unlike the Federal Reserve, which holds treasury bonds. And then Elon can offer a yield directly on X of like 6%, 7%. And he can capture that spread between what Michael Saylor's offering and what he's offering. So X actually becomes a bank. And strategy replaces the Federal Reserve with a better asset. And it isn't just X. It isn't just X. Multiple companies. That's why insurance companies are buying strategy. Because they need about 7%. That's what insurance they need 7% annually to have their insurance model work. Well, if strategy's offering them 11%, there's a yield gap there that the insurance company can capture. That yield gap could pay for the insurance. Here's an even wilder fucking thought. Think of this. What if Social Security started buying shares of MicroStrategy, Stretch? Then Social Security payments could actually pay out Social Security using the yield from strategy. And now I'm not saying they're going to do that, because that makes too much sense. And you know that our legislators, they break out in hives whenever they got to actually look at shit that makes sense. And Michael Saylor's not the only one. Not the only one, guys. This is a whole new system. That's why the banks are freaking out, because think about it. Who's the last person you want to fucking be in competition with? Elon Musk? Let that fucking sink in. And remember, X is a private, as of right now, X is a private company. Guys, Elon Musk is going to eat JP Morgan's fucking lunch. Elon Musk is going to eat everyone's fucking lunch. And not just Elon Musk. Did you hear what Facebook's doing? All right. They're going to launch a stable coin. Why wouldn't they? And Facebook is going to become a bank. They have 1.8 billion users on Facebook. Now, mind you, the majority of them are they're living in like 2000 shit. I'm pretty sure there are people on Facebook freaking out because they just heard about the coronavirus. Right? That's just late breaking news on Facebook. Pretty soon, they're going to hear about the vaccines. And the banks know they're fucked. They know they're fucked. That's why the banks are in Washington. See, we don't want this legislation passed. The banks do. The banks want this passed, but they don't want that interest in there. They need to have a monopoly on interest. That's because if they don't have a monopoly on interest, they're fucked. They have too much overhead. They're too big. We've heard of the banks are too big to fail. Well, now they're going to fail because they're too big. They are the digital monetary equivalent of the Tower of Babel. They're screwed. They know it. That's why they're in Washington. That's why Brian Armstrong left Washington. And he launched a yield-bearing interest account on fucking Coinbase. Because if there's no legislation, there's no legislation. And because the SEC's friendly, fucking Brian's like, fuck off. You take your Clarity Act and shove it up your ass. And guys, this is just getting rolling. This is what we've all been waiting for. It was like, God, when is Bitcoin gonna destroy the system? It's not gonna destroy the system. It's gonna reshape the system. Now, will the banks, the major banks, collapse? Yeah. I don't think they're collapse. Their influence will definitely shrink. Absolutely. What the banks want right now is they want time. They're like, look, this is moving too quickly. We cannot turn our gigantic ship around that quickly. See, Kraken is a jet ski. And Bank of America, JP Morgan, these are oil rigs. All right, out in the middle of fucking the ocean trying to turn around. They can't do it. But see, Kraken and Coinbase and our credit union, we're all jet skis. So we're like, okay, we're off in another direction. They can't. So what they're trying to do is have the government rope in all of the jet skis. All right, guys, we got to keep these jet skis parked. So we have time to turn the ship around. And the jet skis are like, fuck you and your fucking oil. And that's why, hey, shout out to you, Coinbase. Shout out to you, Kraken. That's why we launched our credit union in El Salvador. Much friendlier long-term environment where Coinbase, Kraken, they US based. One bad election and Coinbase and Kraken gonna get fucked up. But guys, we are at war on several fronts. We're at war, Iran, which that shit looks like it's moving into Iraq. What? And Afghanistan? What the fuck are we doing there again? We're hiring mercenaries because we don't want to put troops on the ground. Well, motherfucker, if you're hiring mercenaries, it's costing us money. It's just not our troops. It's someone else's children. Does that make it better? We're not going to kill our people. We're going to hire motherfuckers to get killed. And if you know how these mercenary groups work, a lot of them join because of the family guarantee that they receive. If you are killed, if you're hired by the U.S., do you want to know why so many people freaked out when we left Afghanistan? That's why. Because we had set up agreements. Hey, you play on our side, and if you die, we'll take care of your family. We got you. That's why a lot of these motherfuckers join. They're like, fuck, I don't really want to die, but fuck it. You know, I mean, these mercenaries aren't like, Allah Akbar, motherfucker, let's fight for America. No, these are broke mountain fucking people who are like, wait, so if I join this military or this company, and if I die, my family is like taken care of forever, for like ever. Yeah, deal. That's it. Like, because I'm telling you now, guys, Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, they don't have pension programs. They don't have Social Security. They don't have 401ks. They have AKs. They live in a different world than we do. See, we will not sign up for war unless our families and our friends are threatened. That's why 9/11, Pearl Harbor, all the good false flags. Wait, so our family's at risk? I will go to war for my family. That's why every war has a fucking marketing campaign. Come, it's like they're advertising for Disney. Come join the war. Look at the cool helicopters. Look, you'll be able to fly on a helicopter. Yay, come ride the ride of war. That's what the military does. They market it like it's a fucking adventure. Like you're out there hunting lions in the middle of fucking Africa. You know why the military has to advertise and market it as this? Because motherfuckers don't want to die. And if the environment at home is safe and they feel that their family's secure, no one's going to volunteer. That's why so many people volunteered after Pearl Harbor, because the big marketing campaign, and Google this shit, after Pearl Harbor, the government and Great Britain put out marketing campaigns. And Google this shit. They literally said, is Chicago next? Wait, what? Is Chicago next? And they put that in newspapers all around the fucking country. Is Miami next? Is Dallas, Texas next? Is San Diego, California next? So they're like scaring the fuck out of Americans, creating the idea that people's families were in danger. And they're like, fuck it. I live in Chicago. My family fucking lives in Chicago. And they pulled the whole George Bush. We either fight them there or we fight them here. Whoever said that, but I'm going to attribute it to the fucktard Bush. All right. It's always that. World War I was the same goddamn thing. Now, they got really good at marketing in World War II, because then we figured out, how do we sell cigarettes to everybody? Bernays, who works for the military. This is what we're going to deal with now. Did you see Hetzig, the head honcho of the Bureau of War, or the Department of War, which is oddly the acronym's DOW. There's a little irony. Yesterday, he was like, "It's the best war we ever had. This war is the best war, and it's the war. This is the coolest thing to do, is be in war, and I think we should war more. And if we could possibly have some more wars, that'd be great, because you know what's great is fucking war." I'm a patriot. I love America. I watch that and I'm like, are you fucking stupid? Are you trying to cheerlead war while everyone else is like, hey, what about this Epstein shit? All right, Iran, the leaders of Iran are not in Washington, D.C. raping children. So I'm seeing a little bit bigger of a threat over here than I am over there. No, we go into war, boys. All I can say is absolutely crazy. All right. Absolutely fucking crazy. So we're at war with the banks. We're at war with Iran, apparently moving into Afghanistan and Iraq a little bit. Why the fuck are we going back to Iraq? I thought we blew them up a long time ago, and they still haven't recovered. Shit's hitting the fan, and the problem is we got a lot of fans. So the shit's hitting the fan in the banks. The shit's hitting the fan in war. The shit's hitting the fan in Washington, D.C. There's a lot of fans, and apparently there's a lot of shit. So you might want to put on a rain jacket, or should we say shit jacket? Because I think the shit's going to fly. Everyone, have a great day. Enjoy your day. And remember, if you're looking to purchase some Bitcoin, 941-413-8080, no KYC, Bitcoin, call now. Love you guys. Have a great day, and I will see you guys tomorrow.
Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.